Hi, welcome to Moments of Elevation. My name is Cheryl Mays, and I am the founder of Rise and Shine Consulting Firm, as well as the Chief Learning Operator. And I am always excited on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I get to come and share something with you that's going to allow you to get mental, get motivated, and then get moving. 10 minutes is the time that we spend together where I share a tip, motivation, inspiration, something that's going to allow you to immediately implement something into your life that's going to create a difference. It's going to make a change. It's going to, what I like to call, change the game. And so please follow me on Facebook at riseandshine.success, on Instagram at riseandshinecf. On my website, you have opportunity to find out about all of our programs, rising-and-shining.com. And then on my YouTube channel, where I am looking to change our company's URL. And so we would love to have you subscribe so that we have the opportunity to do that. So support a business. Allow us to have one of our breakthrough goals come true. What I want to share with you today is, on last night, 5 trainers, along with myself, we got together and we conducted a training based on the concept of peaks and valleys. So I want you to think for a minute, what does that even mean? Peaks and valleys. So think about this, what you're doing in your career. What are you doing in your personal life? Oftentimes, we have these opportunities where we excel. We excel in our performance, and we receive accolades, we receive our awards. We know for a fact that we've literally made it to a peak. And then what happens? We want to figure out, okay, how do I sustain this? Now, if any of you have been following me, you know that I am a huge, huge advocate of sustainability. What is it that we can do that will allow us to sustain the performance, that will allow us to sustain our method of connecting with our customers, that will allow us to sustain profitability, anything that will allow us to continue to operate at the high level that allowed us to accomplish the goals that we've set. So that's sustainability. And when you think about peaks and valleys, that's what I want you to think about, is sustainability. So you've gotten to the top of this peak, but now how do you stay there longer? And inevitably, what's going to happen is we're going to enter a valley. We know that we're going to enter a valley that's going to allow us to do one of two things. Either you can enter that valley and be regretful. You can enter that valley and be frustrated. Or you can enter that valley with a purpose of reviving, with a purpose of recharging, with a purpose of rejuvenating, when you are literally putting purpose in the valley. So it's a part of the journey, and it's not that place where you are fearful of going, or you have, oh my gosh, I'm in this valley and I can't figure out how to get out. So what I want to share with you are 5 habits, 5 things that you need to have embedded as a habit. You need to have embedded into yourself so that you can do 2 things. So that you can get to the top of the peak, stay at the top of the peak, and then when you enter your valley, you can get through it quicker and get back to the top of the peak, because inevitably, that's what we want to do, and that's where we want to be. And so the first element, the first trait that I want to share with you is drive. Successful people have this drive. This is that fire in the belly kind of drive, when you are just literally going, there is no stopping me. I have this thing, this vision, this dream, this goal. Maybe it's starting your business. Maybe it's in your business and you are pursuing for existence. Maybe it's actually accomplishing something in your personal life where you literally want to make a difference. And you know that the only way it's going to happen is if you continue to grind and grind and grind. And that's how you start getting to the peak. The second habit is the willingness to learn. Oftentimes, when you are closed-minded and you seem to think that either you have all of the answers or that there's nothing else anyone can teach you, then chances are you are not going to stay at that peak very long, because your willingness to learn has been stifled. Your willingness to learn has been disabled. And so when you leave yourself open and know that I am always open for opportunities to learn more, to learn differently, to change a mindset, that's when you're going to find that you are your most creative. That's when you're going to find that you are your most susceptible to be able to recognize opportunities. That's when you find that you have the ability for partnerships. So understanding a willingness to learn actually allows you to not only enhance your knowledge and your skill sets, but it allows you to enhance your being, the person that you are. Oftentimes what I find is that people have a lack of conversation topics. And so therefore what happens is you condense yourself to only speaking to certain people because that's the information that you have. But when you have this willingness to learn, then you have the ability to have conversations with anyone, because it's kind of like this Google effect, right? You can ask Google anything. So when you have that, you have the ability to add more to your opportunities to have conversations, because that's where businesses take place. That's where relationships actually happen. When you have this willingness to be open to know that you don't know all of the answers, and you don't have to be a know-it-all, and that's okay. Even if you're in a leadership position, you don't have to have all the answers. You just need to be smart enough to surround yourself with people that have answers, and that people that are diverse in so many different fields and different modalities, so that you actually have this broadened extent of information that you can gather, so that you can now make decisions. So you don't have to have all of the answers. You just have to surround yourself by people, and you have to be open to learn new things. The other one is a desire. Oftentimes we want things, but there's a difference between wanting something and desiring something. Because if you want something, that's really kind of superficial and it's kind of surfacey, but a desire, that is deep. A desire means that you're not going to easily allow people to talk you out of it. You're not going to allow the negativity to seep in, because your desire for something is so strong that you're going to pursue whatever it takes in order to make it happen. You're going to look for opportunities. You're going to have conversations with people that you might not talk to normally. But it is because of that desire. Sometimes people have a desire for change. I used to work in nonprofit. And people that work in nonprofits are, believe me, it's not for the money, because you don't get a lot of money. You get nicely rewarded, but it is truly for the desire to make an impact. And so when you have that desire, you can come up against the walls, you can come up against the negativity, you can come up against the naysayers, and you can still move forward, because you know that your end game is far better than where you are now, and there is something that you have to complete, and that's the desire. You know, the other thing that we have to have is patience. Now, I get it. We want stuff here, we want it now. This is why we have Amazon Prime, so I can order it on Tuesday, hopefully get it Tuesday evening, maybe Wednesday morning. We love things immediately. And that's not only with deliveries, that's in our lives. We want success rapidly. We want relationships rapidly. We want to be able to get out of this valley rapidly. But you know what? That whole cliche, patience is a virtue. It's true. Because you know the thing with patience is it gives you the ability to kind of see a little more long term. It gives you the ability to be steady. And patience doesn't mean stop. It means to just be steady flowing. You are continuously moving forward, even in your patience for something to happen. Maybe you're not quite prepared. So let's say you want this promotion, but your impatience wants you to get it now. But when you think about it, are you truly prepared? Do you have the necessary credentials? Do you have the necessary understanding of what it takes to be a leader? Do you need to do some other things prior to achieving that goal? And that's okay, but that's the patience as long as you are steadily moving forward. Do you want to have this business, but you know that you have to apply for an LLC or whatever it is that you're doing? You know that you have to have your taxes. You know that you have to have all of this paperwork submitted to the IRS. And oftentimes that takes some time to do. But as long as it is moving at the same time that you are building relationships and you are forming partnerships, then that's okay because you are steadily moving forward. And then there's discipline. So discipline is about consistency. And oftentimes this is where things come into falter because disciplines of success. What are those things that you are doing consistently that are allowing you to slowly move forward, that are allowing you to continuously move the dial? And those things are the things that you will continue to do. And oftentimes what we lack is consistency because we do things Monday and Tuesday. We don't do them Wednesday and Thursday, but we expect results on Friday when we haven't completed what needs to be done. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. So to have a discipline to literally, if you say, look, in the morning, I'm going to get up, I want to do my motivation, I want to go outside, I want to do a 20-minute walk, then I want to come back in, fix my coffee, then I'm going to look at my emails. And so you have this routine. What it does is it makes you sharper because you know exactly what you're going to do, as opposed to what I call this squirrel effect, when you are just going from object to object. You are just kind of running around trying to do things, and then you've realized you've missed some of the major pieces. So when you start to practice discipline, then you start to have more control of your day. And that's what you want. You want to be able to control your day. And then the last one is aspiration. To have an ambition to do something, to aspire, to really want something so that you can claim it, declare it, and then do it. So when we talked on peaks and valleys, this is the thing that you want to think about is what did you do to get to the peak? And how are you going to use the exact same process to get yourself out of the valley sooner? And this is what I love about practicing Lean Six Sigma, because it is about sustainability. It is about implementing a process that allows you to be able to move forward at a steady pace, that allows you to be able to continuously repeat the process so that you have that sustainable success, so that you have that sustainable ascension to wherever it is you're trying to go. Because we all want to get to the peak and we want to stay there. So thinking about those things, because oftentimes what happens is people get to the peak and they're not prepared for the valley. And so the valley is like this disruptor. The valley is like this place where you fall apart, whether it be in your career or even in your personal life. You can still be in a valley and fall apart. Or you can use that valley and see the purpose in it. And then while you're there, think about the things that you did to get up to the peak. Think about the things that you want to do. Think about those things that you can put into place so that your valley doesn't happen repeatedly. Guess what? That's our 10 minutes. Listen, my name is Cheryl Mays. Thank you for joining me for this moment of elevation, where I come to you on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to invite people. This is great stuff. I want you to share this video. I want you to invite others to join us on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon. I generally start about 12:05 because I know it's kind of lunchtime. So it gets you the opportunity to kind of get settled in. And again, 10 minutes to get mental, get motivated, and then get moving, get back to work. Use what we've shared with you so that you can have a successful day. Because here's the goal. At the end of every day, you should have something to celebrate. Whether it be professional or personal, there should be a celebratory moment at the end of every single day. That's how I operate. There is something throughout that day that I am going to celebrate, because what it does is it starts your mind thinking about other things that you can do. So when you're thinking about your peaks and valleys, what's going to get you there is going to allow you to stay there. When you get to the valley, don't look at it as a moment of despair, but it is a moment of purpose. Think about this really quickly. Some of you might be NASCAR fans, but think about this, the car that is the most prized possession of the driver, right? Without the car, there's no race, right? So this car is your prized possession, but you can't keep running it. You can't keep running it. So what do? They go in for a pit stop. This pit stop is typically 16 seconds. 16 seconds where they change the spark plugs, they change the tires, they fuel up, and they're back in the race. Exact same thing for you in your life. When we stop separating our professional from our personal and we start integrating, then we can be more successful. And so think about that purpose of being into the pit for that NASCAR driver. It's the exact same purpose for you being into the valley. It is to refuel, it is to recharge, and it is to get yourself back out in the race at a high performance level. Again, thank you for joining me. Definitely follow me on YouTube, Cheryl Mays. Follow me on Instagram, like and share, Rise and Shine CF. And definitely invite others to join us in this Facebook page, riseandshine.success. Have an amazing day, and guess what? It's time for you to get back to work, or at least to start thinking about how you are going to leverage your peaks and valleys. If you have any questions about this, please put them into the comments. I will definitely respond to you. And if there are things that you are looking at as you go through your profession, your career, your life, and you just have a question, pop it into the comments. If I don't have the answer, I've got a lot of friends that are trainers and coaches. I will find one for you and I will connect you with someone. So have an amazing day, and remember, find something to celebrate.